From a black base coat, paint all the leather areas with Eshin Grey. This is a thin covering paint, so 2 layers will be needed. Pick out the pillar on the base using Administratum Grey. Paint all the red areas with a base coat of Khorne Red. Try to avoid overspill onto the wings at this step, but if you do, just correct with Eshin Grey before continuing. Paint the root with Gorthor Brown. Wash the entire model with a 50-50 mix of black Templar contrast and contrast medium, using the brush to wick away any excess, particularly around the face so it doesn't clog up any detail. To highlight the wings, first pick out the prominent areas of raised detail with Mechanicus Standard Grey. Also pick out the areas around the kind of holes in the wings and the sharpest edges on the edge of the wings. Then do a finer highlight on the sharp edges using Administratum Grey. Unfortunately, this didn't come out in the recording, but basically aim to be within the lines of the previous highlight covering smaller areas. Highlight the red using Mephiston Red, allowing the Black Templar shade to remain in the deeper recesses. This model, even though it's quite small, has a lot of fine detail, particularly on the body and on the face. An example here, the ribs. So do your best to pick these out with sharp, defined lines, which really sells the effect of the detail of the model. Likewise, on the stomach and on the tail, there's a lot of raised detail, and just do your best to pick out these with sharp points of the Mephiston Red. A second highlight using Wild Rider Red on the raised detail can be added. I probably wouldn't do this for the smaller bats. For the Direbat though, it's worth putting in the extra effort to make him stand out from the other bats. So here the examples will be the fine points on the face, the raised areas on the ears. The other areas I tend to pick out would be the edges of the muscles and the points between the kind of segments on the armatures and the wings. Pick out the teeth and the eyes with Corax White. I suppose the main trick here is to keep the tip of the brush quite pointed and to use thin enough paint that it flows easily from the brush. Pick up any of the claws with a Baden Black if they have become overpainted with any other colour, and then pick out in a single highlight Administratum Grey along the sharpest edges. Pick out the tongue in Pink Horror. Pick out the eyes now with Yriel Yellow. This will cover easily over the previously painted Corax White. Pick out the raised detail on the tree roof using Gorthor Brown. Then in a second highlight, use Baneblade Brown on the smaller, more prominent edges. And this is the finished result. To paint the candles, I have done a tutorial on this separately, and there's a link to that now above. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to keep up to date on the latest Cursed City and other painting tutorial videos.